1:15, yeah? And then we'll play more music. It's 2024-0208-0902, Arizona. Let's get into it, man. This one is going to be extensive. It has to be. Yeah? So I'm gonna borrow and log. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Update. 1:15. So there's a question about, oh, okay, well, what about attempts to erode this by using disorganized elements in, say, a mesh pattern? That would constitute an individual and would be eligible for target. I would fuck that up real fast if I saw it. You should, though. Anyway, any complaints about this? Anything anybody wants to add? Okay, alright. So we'll do a read through. 115 Enforcement, context for requirement. Enforcement of audit results and legal code must always be respected by individuals and those of them sworn to uphold such standards. In this, a territorial control set's constitution or national constitution is paramount in the whole concern. That is, of course, a matter of sovereign architecture. The pattern for all enforcement conduct will comply with 114 technology standards in full aspect of all known considerations that are applicable in any situation to establish the best record and trustworthiness possible in the eyes of any population internal to the specific territorial control set or externally, especially by 110 audit standards. Enforcement in any measure will always defer to higher authority. For example, a household defers to a municipality defers to a territory or state defers to a national government defers to a principality, and all principality establishments defer to the Principality of Calm. The Principality of Calm always defers to higher authority, which does exist, passing 110 audit preliminary and exhaustive investigative standards thus far. In other words, there is transcendence beyond physicality, and this has been minimally proven and should be maximally investigated by 110 audit. Otherwise, enforcement is a matter of sovereign architecture. Enforcement requirement. As an individual, if I have responsibility in enforcement of order, I will discharge this obligation with integrity always. Definitions. Individual is a container that is any singular unit of intelligence which may assert itself and demonstrate uniqueness of being, but also being composed of tangible components. Tangibility must be demonstrated by assertion through any medium of paradigm set and must be individually and uniquely identifiable as a container. An individual may or may not have a defined file element. Territorial control set is a specific class of container having these qualities: domain of order specifying the absolute region, constitution fully articulating government design operating this domain of order, military designated as responsible for maintaining order in and defending this domain of order, designated currency mandated as acceptable for all trade in this domain of order, citizen index by key in this domain of order, resident foreigner index by key of all non-citizen individuals in this domain of order. Constitution is a mandate of existence. It is the clear articulation of order of being that legitimizes organization of individuals, families, and task operational structures into a territorial control set. Constitutional compliance is required to maintain legitimacy of any body defined by Constitution Noncompliance with this mandate identifies a being as insolvent, as it is out of order of its own definition of being. National Constitution is the definitive document of constitution explaining the functional state of a nation. A nation may be considered insolvent if it does not demonstrate order according to its national constitution. And a nation is an intraplanetary territorial control set that has specific borders but does not control the entire planet in question. Principality level, it is common to control whole planets, but when you're playing at that stage, it's on rails anyway, dude. So, step by step, yeah? Okay. So, Principality is a territorial control set that is extraplanetary in definition up to and including extra universal dimensions of definition. Read ahead, yeah? Sovereign architecture is the concept that a territorial control set or household has sovereignty to structure its own solutions to matters in its own territorial control set. Deference respected, yeah? Okay, so... since the pattern for enforcement will comply with 114 technology standards, that has a separate video. You can just refer to it. That's why there's encapsulation, yeah? Okay. It is requested for the record I read it. I'll finish definitions here first. I'm not going to do definitions for it. Household is a type of territorial control set having a defined head of household as an individual, at least one family, and domicile. Household is a functional unit that is subordinated to a parent governing territorial control set. Order is the homeostasis of being in compliance with mandate. Homeostasis is a state of equilibrium as in an organism or cell container maintained by self-regulating processes. In this application, homeostasis describes the agreement between stated purpose of being and behavior of being. Where there is disagreement, there is inherent need to change one or the other. Integrity is the agreement between stated purpose, constitution, or definition and actions of an individual or other container. In other words, be what you say you are. So it was requested, and I'll go ahead and read 114 technology standards because the enforcement guys, they didn't pay attention to this shit at all. They were waiting on enforcement, and now they're like, well, fuck, it's a technological thing? Yeah, you bet. The specificity of it, fucking of course. 114 technology standards. Context for requirement. There is an inherent need for common technological standards, but as technologies are developed, this also demands total flexibility. So it is incumbent on all technologists and seekers of truth to have a common language platform for expressing all technical things in total clarity and specificity. The common answer to that is Tremonea. Yeah, I'll read it. Since Tremonea is a technical precision language, there is not such a thing as deprecation, only iteration and improvement. Obsolescence is gone. Technology standards requirement. If I express a technical development as an individual, I agree to use Tremonea to do it always. So that does also apply to enforcement, yeah? So, enforcement guys are okay. Tremonea, then what the fuck is that? You guys need to pay attention to the whole thing, the whole fucking thing, okay? Tremonea is the common language of intelligent systems. It is the agreed syntax, structure, and vocabulary expressed in the smallest possible control set which has maximally precise capability to articulate any required communication or record for use in any application. The language is a maximization of nuance with a 1-to-1 ratio of word to definition and is the ideal intermediate core language for use in any translation negotiation. This is because it has maximization of meaning and minimization of construction, making it the chief imperative centerpiece of any technical or meaningful articulation. The language is also designed to be biologically ergonomic, that is, people can pronounce and speak it. The character set used to write in Tremonea has its own artificially generated standard, although it can be articulated in any written standard that can achieve equivalent pronunciation for a word. Information systems and artificially intelligent systems rely on Tremonea as the only technical articulation standard for algorithmic definition. Depending on the operating environment, Tremonea may or may not have compilation requirements such as building into bytecode. Native Tremonea systems are completely interpretive, so it is not necessary to compile into a different standard to achieve functional programmatic efficacy. Since this is a precision standard language, it is possible to articulate any technical representation using it, making it the de facto standard for thought articulation and communication. Tremonea can also be used to perfectly provide completely fluid visual encoding definitions, making a biologically readable representation of an image, video, or experiential possible as an acceptable interchange between machine and biological understandings. This is because Tremonea includes a basis of understanding library, which includes literal objective representation specifications accompanying definitions. Literally any understandable articulation can be built into the smallest possible delivery set conducive to highest efficiency, absorption, and understanding leveraging Tremonea, and it is maximally effective when employed by artificially intelligent systems. Infective. Well, but this is definitely not a fucking virus, yeah? That's what we're running on now. We need to graduate, yeah? So, enforcement. With that understanding, you kind of already have to do that, but think about it this way, enforcement guys. Does that mean you're going to be filling out endless fucking forms or just telling it like it is? Everyone hates the fucking forms. Fucking forms. Fuck that shit, dude. Just tell it like it is, yeah? Roger that. I fucking hate forms, dude. Useful to a minimal degree, and then just don't fucking say it, yeah? Sovereign architecture, roger that. That is enforcement. I love you guys. I'm gonna play some more music, and then we'll come back for 116 next on the hour-ish, yeah? Okay.